afternoon and welcome to episode 9 of the 1 Minute Social Media Moment with me, Amanda Webb. And I'm not sure if you can hear, but there's a storm raging here in Ireland, so if we get blown around a bit, that's why. Today's moment was inspired by a blab that I was on, and the host was Joel Comm. And it was a fantastic blab. It was about Disney. And when I tuned in, there were two grown men. I don't think I've ever seen two people so excited in their lives about Disney and Disneyland. I swear they were like little kids. And it was totally infectious. I so have to go to Disney now. And you can see I'm wearing my Mickey Mouse t-shirt in tribute. There was one problem for me with the blab. And that was the language that they were using. They weren't swearing. Of course not. It's Disney. They weren't using inappropriate language, but there was one word that they used over and over again that had me in fits of laughter. And that word was Mickey. The word Mickey on its own. They were talking about their Mickey photos they'd had taken with Mickey, how Mickey was great. And each time they said it, I was in fits. The reason being that in Ireland, the word Mickey on its own, when not associated with a mouse, means something completely different. And I'm leaving a link to the Urban Dictionary below so you can find out for yourself. Nobody else on that blab knew what I was finding so funny. Most of the people on it were from the United States and the United Kingdom. In fact, when I asked in the chat box was anyone else from Ireland so they could enjoy the moment of mirth with me, there was no response. So they were totally right for their audience with their language. But it inspired today's moment because it got me thinking about the language that we use on social media. So I'm just going to set the timer. If Joel Comm's podcast or blab was aimed at an Irish audience, he may have misfired with the word Mickey. I even feel weird saying it. But it wasn't. It was totally aimed at the right audience, an American audience and a UK audience. But we have to think about the language we use. Are we using language that is appropriate to our audience? Think about it. Are we using the sort of language that they use? We must stop and try and avoid using jargon when it's not right. Of course, when we're talking to peers or people within our industry, we'd look weird. We'd look like we don't know the words if we didn't use jargon. But I know in the past that when I've used terms like URL or SEO or B2B or even SME, when I'm talking to other people on workshops that I present, sometimes I get a blank face. And I've learned that I need to expand on that. I need to explain the words I use. Thirdly, we do need to think about those cultural differences. That's my minute up. We need to not necessarily use Americanisms when we're speaking from Europe, and people in America don't have to think about using the words that Europeans use. But maybe we need to speak more slowly, more concisely, or explain better what we're trying to say.